and welcome to the first episode of the Shootin Gallery, or Aqua Shootin Gallery to keep the branding and continuity, right? But this is the first episode of my podcast, you could say, or just recording my thoughts. That's all. I want this to be long form, unedited content, or as little editing as possible, similar to the live streams I've been doing recently on Kick and Instagram, and just having a form of documentation for my thoughts in a way that I'd be able to go back and look at them in the future or reference them at another time. Or maybe they're just up there to have them up there because I wanted to do this and then keep it up. With Kick and Instagram. On Instagram, you can upload the video after the live, and on Kick, it does upload the video after, but then on Kick, it has a certain time, and then it comes down. And then on Instagram, it's not necessarily the best place for live content all the time, or just uploading past lives, because a lot of people don't engage with that kind of stuff. But yeah, I just wanted to have this as a form, being able to record my thoughts in the moment and just see what's on my mind, right? That's where the phrase shooting the shit comes from. It's just saying whatever comes to your mind, right? And I noticed a lot of people were using that in their titles for videos or podcasts, and I liked it, but I wanted to put my own spin on it, right? So that's where we get the shooting gallery, like at a carnival or a circus, whatever. It's fun. It's like a game, right? We're just having a conversation. Before I get any further, though, I want to do a few shout-outs, right? Because this was inspired heavily, or in a sense almost came to fruition because of other podcasts like Dualistic Unity, Andrew and Ray, and then Jackie and Amanda's podcast kind of spinning off and still on their platform. And then, other podcasts that have come up after, like the Ebb and Flow podcast or Life Unpotted, or, I'm sure there's even other ones that I haven't even seen yet, or that I don't even know exist, that are out there because of podcasts like DU. Even guys like Joe Rogan, Danny Jones, Andrew Huberman, whoever you can think of. I don't know, I feel like it's a great form of media and content, but it's also just a great way of recording ideas, because so many ideas get either lost or misconstrued. Even this, you could edit it to fit a certain narrative or to look a certain way, but at the end of the day, I just want to be able to have thoughts, get them out there, get them off my mind, because sometimes they do pile up and it becomes a lot, and then, be able to record it and have it archived in a way, right? I do also want to treat this kind of like the calls I have with my friends, my homies, where we'll just hop on a Snapchat call or a FaceTime call, and we'll pack up our toques, right? We pack up our bowls, and we just smoke, and we talk, and we play games, we'll drink, shoot the shit, do whatever, right? It's a space where we can just be ourselves and just relax and have fun with the guys, you know what I mean? I want this to be like that, with a community, with anybody who wants to join and follow along with this series, I guess. I want it to be like that. Right now, I got some blue raspberry ground up, right? And I'll pack up my toke and I'll have a smoke, and I have a few points written down, nothing too major, just a few point form bullet point notes, and we can go into some of those as, topics to talk about. These are just ideas that I had that maybe I'm making dinner or I'm doing dishes and I go, oh, that would be good to talk about, or I want to, I've been making a lot of talking head TikTok videos, and they get engagement, but I don't know, I almost want to have it all in one place. Like, if I could put the VODs of live streams up on YouTube, have these on YouTube as well as my music, and stuff like that, just kind of consolidate where you can find stuff, because it's a lot easier to just say the platform and then say, oh yeah, if you search up my name, you'll find, like, everything will pop up, right? Right now, it's not the best for, like, branding and marketing because content is kind of split up per platform, like by platform. Some people don't use certain platforms. Like, I have a few friends that don't use TikTok, or if you watch YouTube exclusively, you might not watch streamers, or vice versa, right? So you might be missing out on content that's going up on other platforms, even though that could be good in a sense because you're getting the crossover. Somebody who follows me on multiple platforms would see different content, which is a positive for them. But then, yeah, I almost worry if the content on different platforms is almost too varied, because on Kick, I'm doing like gaming stuff and now stuff like this. On Instagram, it's a lot of the art stuff, or I'm reposting a lot of activist posts like that, or like a lot of anti-government stuff, or just trying to shine light on certain situations or problems I think other people ought to know about. And then you go to to TikTok, sorry, and then it's a lot of talking head videos, often on the same kinds of topics, but it's not exactly the same, right? So it does. There's I don't know. There's room to like mix and match and kind of cross over some content, but then I don't know. I'm kind of at a point where I'm just kind of doing what comes naturally. I'm still making music, obviously, going up on SoundCloud, all platforms. But it's more like, what am I doing when I'm not doing that, and how can I turn like content creation and like social media, working online, into a job? Because at the end of the day, this is what I'm passionate about. I love content creation, and if I could like do graphic design or art in some way, whether it's advertising, doing cover arts, clothes, like I just want to be I almost spread myself too thin, because I kind of want to touch all these different ventures, but it's almost hard to do it either all at once, or even breaking into a new venture or a new scene. Even it can be hard sometimes, because how are you, like, it's easier when you have an audience for sure, but it's kind of hard to pivot when you need either equipment or infrastructure of some sort, or you're not like set up necessarily for it. Like, even the difference between recording music and streaming isn't that different, but then sometimes like I need OBS to record, or like for music it's Fruity Loop, so you need different software, right? And then you get not necessarily problems, but just like things you have to work out along the way, in that sense, right? But yeah, I don't know. And see, already this isn't necessarily where I wanted to take the video for the start of this, and even I'm looking at the timer, we're only like 9 minutes in right now, but I had a few things written down, ironically, on expectations, and I think this fits perfectly into that, in the sense of you just have to go in sorry, I'm stuttering now. You just have to go into stuff with an open mind and not hold on to expectations too tightly, because a perfect real life example was yesterday. I woke up with an expectation of what I wanted to do with my Sunday. There was something, I saw an event that was going on Saturday, it was Comic-Con, and I thought, oh, perfect, it'll probably go from Saturday to Sunday, like have the 2 days, right? And that was me assuming. But then when I woke up on Sunday, I realized, oh, it's not going anymore. It was just the one day, 10 to 3, and it's like, okay, that's pretty unfortunate. But I got pretty worked up about it. Like, and see, it honestly was kind of me having tantrum or like having a fit about it, because I was like stoked looking forward to this, and I put it off on Saturday to do other stuff like chores and whatnot. So it frustrated me, but I didn't even give myself enough time to breathe and go like, okay, well, shit, it happens. Like, it's not like it's not gonna happen again. I think there's even another one coming up this year, so it's not like it doesn't happen multiple times a year or you can't catch it next year. Like, it's not that big of a deal. I couldn't even let myself do that. I was just so like almost tight and wound up and tense and stressed about it that I just like it was I'm not gonna say it was physically hard to breathe, but it's almost hard to like catch your breath and just like relax, kind of return to zen in a sense, or even just like step back from your thoughts and realize like whatever the thoughts you're having about like, oh, I fucked up or I missed it or I shouldn't, or like beating yourself up for what you did do and what you could have done, or like my mom always said, you can't could've, should've, or would've. You can't do those, you know. It's once it's past, and it's like, okay, you learn from your mistakes. Hindsight's 20/20, but you can't coulda, shoulda, or woulda. And yeah, and from that, so I woke up and I had this tantrum, I'll call it, because that's basically what it was, where I was all upset and pissed off at myself. And one thing I will say too is sometimes you just have to let yourself cry, whether it's like manually on purpose or whether it's just like a buildup of emotion and you go, oh, I could really use a cry right now, and you just let it out. Sometimes you just gotta cry, man. Like, that's something I've been knowing since I was a kid, and that's kind of why I never was too afraid to like cry at school or cry in front of people, because I realized like it is just your body's way of letting out emotions, you know. Why would your body do it? Why would your body do it if there wasn't a reason for it, right? And so I had to cry. It wasn't crazy, it was a few tears, and I was like, okay, it was just enough to realize like, okay, I'm releasing some energy. What am I really pissed off about? It's like, sure, I missed this thing, but what does that leave me open to the rest of the day, right? And then what I did with the rest of the day was I went on a walk with my girlfriend, and we went to a trail that we had never been to before. This was our first time, and it was awesome, beautiful, a lot of bugs, so we were kind of speed walking, half jogging through there, like trying not to get bit up. I got a nasty bite on the side of my finger from, I think it was a horsefly or something, because I felt the bite and I squished my fingers, and I think I squashed it or something, and it just, that stuff, it's, I don't know what it is about bugs, man, like something about them, like when they get the claws on you or like all their legs on you, it just, it makes my whole body tense up, and I just, I don't know, maybe it was a past life, reaction, like maybe I was killed by killer bees or something, you know, and my body just has a visceral reaction to insects or whatever, who knows, right? But yeah, just relinquish expectations and just wake up and go, who knows what's gonna happen today? Even if you have a full-time job where you're going to this shit every day and you think, oh, it's gonna be the same as last time, I'm gonna see Larry and he's gonna say, oh, how's it going, Larry? Oh, good. And you, yeah, I'm good. And like, you go on with your day. What if one day you say, yeah, you know, I didn't get the most sleep, not doing the best, but hey, we're pushing through. And then Larry goes, oh yeah, I didn't get the most sleep either, you know, I was up doing this thing. And then now all of a sudden you're having a conversation about something you relate to, instead of just going through your shit like you do every day and just not thinking twice about it, right? And I'm saying all of this as I'm kind of talking to myself, like literally I have OBS and I have the the window open in front of me, so I'm kind of looking in the mirror, and I'm saying this to myself to remember and to realize, like, you learn stuff conceptually, and now, of course, I think my superintendent is vacuuming right outside my apartment. Hopefully you guys can't hear that. But you know, we keep it pushing. Should have ripped the toke a little bit before, but that's okay. We'll let him go down the hall and then we'll rip it. It's okay. But what was I saying? That kind of distracted me because I'm worrying about if it's gonna pick up on the audio. But at the end of the day, if it does, so be it. It's not gonna last long. And worst case, if it messes up the audio that bad, you can skip to the next episode or skip further into the episode. You know, it's we figure out ways to make it work in life. You know, nothing is certain, nothing is ruined. You don't have to completely restart. Even though I said I wanted to do this long form unedited, or I would like this to be long form unedited, and I might have said it in one of the other recordings because I did 2 short ones before this. I guess getting a feel for it, but in a sense, something in me was saying, oh, you messed up, or like something's wrong and you have to stop, or you paused too long. It's like, so what? What if I pause too long and I need to either catch my breath, or I burp and I say excuse me, or I need to think of what I want to say, like the next words, right? It's, so what? Shit happens, man. You live and let live, and you don't worry about, like, the only person judging you is you, truly. And if other people are judging you, that says more about them than it does about you, you know? Because that just shows their insecurity. And if you're judging yourself, that shows your insecurity. And I'm saying this again, I'm trying to tell myself, because these are things that I struggle with, in the sense of, this is what I was going to say, you learn stuff conceptually before you put it into action. Like when you start a new job, you have to learn how to do the job. They're not just going to throw you to the wolves and say, okay, well, figure it out yourself, and if you fuck up, well, that's on you. It's like, no, if you fuck up, that's on the employer, because they didn't train you, right? They have to show you how to do the job to make sure you can do it right, or to see if you're even doing it, if you can even do it to start with, right? And yeah, it's funny how life works that way, right? Like, even in school, even like Karate Kid, wax on, wax off. At the start of the movie, he's learning, or he's doing all the cleaning. He doesn't even realize how it's gonna help him in the future. And Mr. Miyagi is just saying, hey, just trust the process, just keep going, just do what I say, and you'll be chilling. And then you realize, or he realizes, he gets to the fight at the end of the movie, and it's been a while since I've seen it, so I'm a little hazy on the details, but he gets to the fight, and then he remembers, okay, wax on, wax off. Now he's using the technique, whatever, and it's all making sense, it's coming together. But sometimes, yeah, you do have to just trust the process and go, okay, well, I'm being told wax on, wax off, or that's what I feel like I should be doing. Let me do it and see what happens in the future, you know? Who knows? Maybe cleaning cars will lead you to being a karate champion superstar, or whatever the hell he was. Or, yeah, he was waxing a car, right? I'm pretty sure it was Mr. Miyagi's whip. But, yeah, you know. That being said, coming up on 18 and a half minutes, I think this is a perfect time to rip a little smoke. And yeah, we'll treat this kind of like how I do my live streams. Like, if you're not smoking along with me, if you're not session, you best be blessing, right? That's what I say on stream. If you're not smoking with me, just say, yeah, live and let live, and I hope it doesn't perturb you or disturb you too much, in the sense of you want to click off the video, or you completely disregard whatever I have to say, because at the end of the day, we're all living life, doing our own things, whatever feels right. And like, yeah, I smoke a lot of weed, and sometimes I do definitely use it to cover up and bottle up emotions, but sometimes I'm just frustrated. Like I said, I'm having the temper tantrum, like I was mentioning at the start of this yesterday. And then sometimes I have a smoke, and it's that breath of fresh smoke, whatever, right? It's that breath of fresh air that just hits me, and I go, oh yeah, what was I pissed about? Like, it's kind of like a reset sometimes, you know? And I don't know, maybe it's just me, but I feel like sometimes I do really need that to like click in because I'm so in my thoughts. But again, that's the thought of needing something and not just accepting or not trusting yourself, you know? It's like, why do you need anything outside of what you got right here, you know? Like, I don't know. But yes, let me rip, and then we'll continue this conversation, you know? Crack the window quick. But yeah, cheers to the family and having the realization that we are, like, you are me, I am you, we're all one, we're all made of the same energy in different physical bodies, but everything in life is vibration, and in a sense is all the matrix, because it is all an illusion and your mind's processing what your senses are taking in, you know? It's sorry to get deep for a second there, but it's that's what it comes down to, right? It's, I guess in a sense the whole thing is deep, but it depends on how often you look at it or how deep you go. Usually this could be deep to some people, this could just be the surface for other people, you know? Like, yeah, that's the beauty of life, you know? Everybody's at different levels, at different stages, and you can learn something from everyone, you know? But yes, cheers to the family, cheers to myself, the oneness, whatever you want to call it, God. Everybody's got a different name for it, but I feel like we really are trying to say the same thing, you know? But cheers to that. If you're not session, you best be blessing, and I appreciate you joining for this experience and this conversation, and just like learning, recognizing, whatever you want to call it. It's just experiencing and living, and yeah. That being said, cheers. If I do cut anything out, it'll probably be coughing, if I do. Sometimes I can get away without coughing. Let's see. Let me close up the window. Few little coughs. Nothing too bad. And I just heard the vacuum start up, but I think he's further down the hall. That's okay. So, yeah, distress and anxiety, you don't know what it'll lead to, right? Who knows if feeling that way, maybe that's exactly what you needed to get to the next step. But if you constantly felt good, or you only felt good, or good vibes only, whatever the hell, maybe you'll never be able to progress to that next step of realization or learning without having some sort of like something that pisses you off, so you can find what the trigger is, right? Again, something I need to learn and get better at, but getting the concepts in my head first, trying to verbalize them and talk about them and realize, oh yeah, it's not as hard as I might make it out to be for myself, or I might conceptualize it to be. It's like, oh, it sounds so hard, but then in practice, not really. It's like meditation. People talk about leaving their body and astral projecting from meditation, and it's like, all they're doing is breathing. Man, it could sound hard or crazy, but all they're doing is just sitting there going, like, not that quick, obviously, but you know what I mean? It's that simple. Like, and I feel like we overcomplicate a lot of shit in life. It's just how we think about it, and just like, especially for people like me with ADD or ADHD, sometimes when you make a list, it's so hard to just focus on one thing and get that done, because you're looking at the whole list and you go, oh shit, look at all the things I have to get done. You gotta remember, you gotta take life one step at a time, you know? Instead of 2 steps forward, 1 step back, why not just take it 1 step at a time, you know? Then you're gonna save yourself a lot of the headache of you keep backing up, or you're perceiving yourself as backtracking, you know? And yeah, there's only the here now. That's what it comes down to, and it's, can you be present? Can you be present in the moment, or are you getting lost in your thoughts and then you realize, oh shit, a bunch of time has passed. Where did it go? You know? Um, I think that's something a lot of people have to realize too. It's, are you being present? Are you experiencing what's going on in front of you, or are you thinking about something else that's like your past or what just happened 5 minutes ago and how people are going to perceive you? It's like, why are you wasting your time? Why are you wasting your energy? You know? Talking to myself. You know? I feel like that's all this is. It's kind of, this is almost like a diary to myself. To, like, I can't even say my future or past self. It's just myself right now. You know? It's not even a diary. Just being able to, like, make videos for myself to watch and listen to and be like, oh yeah, I said that. Yeah, see, I know what I'm talking about, and just do it, you know? Like, and I feel like that's part of practicing it too, or like practicing by doing it, right? It's just, I lost my train of thought. I completely forgot. What was I talking about? Here and now. And see, I guess it wasn't important, and I'm sure you can finish the thought yourself, or you knew where I was heading. And who knows, maybe not even thinking about it, it's going to pop back up, and, you know, just giving me space to think about other stuff, I guess. I don't know. I had the thought, and then it was gone. But you could say that's from the smoking, or you could say it's just, a coincidence, you know? But yeah, there's only the here now. Yeah, and sometimes you just need to cry, you know? That's all it comes down to, right? And it's it's just trying to remember it. It's yeah, trying to practice it and actually, you know, practice what I preach, in the sense of, I'm hearing all these other people talk about it, I can understand it conceptually, it makes sense. Now let's do it. Let's put it into practice. That's what Ray from DU said. He said in one of the episodes, he's like, yeah, we're just saying the same thing in different ways, but eventually you have to, like, stop listening to the podcast and go do it, in a sense. That you can keep listening and doing it at the same time, but it's kind of like, okay, here's your lesson. Now go implement what you were taught, right? And I think that's very powerful too, because it puts it in the hands of the audience and the people who listen, because that's all it is at the end of the day. That's the ripple that they're making at Dualistic Unity, and it's kind of what you do with it, you know? Some people could hear it and go, okay, whatever, they're just hippies talking nonsense and they could not understand, but then there could be other people that really take it and learn from it, like, pardon me, like I'm trying to do here, right? And just kind of implement what they're talking about and not take myself too seriously, and not like question the idea of myself, because that's what it comes down to. You are not your thoughts, right? And that's also very powerful. I said in one of the live streams before, like, a few days ago, what is it? You gotta treat your thoughts like a river or a highway with cars on it. It's just making noise, and you're sitting on a rock watching it. That's what your thoughts are, you know? You are not your thoughts, and you don't even have to interact with them. You can just sit there and watch them. And that's not an original thought, right? I forget where it comes from, or who was the first person who said it or thought of it, but that's what it comes down to, right? That's what it is, and that's honestly the best way to visualize it, is just sitting on a rock next to a highway, and your thoughts are the car zooming by, and you're just like, oh yeah, there's another one, there's a yellow one, there's a red one, like, you know, it's oh, there's a sports car, that was a crazy one, like, I don't know. hopefully this is relatable and you can find some sort of either humor or like you can take some sort of value from this to add to your life in a way. And that's not necessarily the purpose of it, because I'm just doing this for me, but in a sense I hope that I can help people like these other people have helped me in having this realization. It's I used to take myself very seriously, and I would pick apart every detail of everything I did, and I would just be so hard on myself. But you can't do that. You can't live your life like that. You're just gonna burn out, and you're gonna be exhausted and depressed and just all this stupid shit that you don't need in your life. Um, but yeah, again, this is like a reminder to myself. This is just me talking to myself like it's a mirror. I don't necessarily want you to watch this and go, "Oh, he's talking to me." Like, if anything, I'm talking to myself, which is you, which is me. It's all like, I guess in a sense it is all the same thing, and I am just talking to myself, whether it's you or literally me, right? And that's kind of the fun of it. But yeah, I don't want to drag on too long and ramble and whatever. I think this is a good spot to end the first episode, and hopefully there will be many more of these, because at the end of the day they are just my thoughts, and just like, I'm always thinking, so theoretically I should be able to do these infinitely and until I'm not able to think anymore, I guess. Even then, who knows, it might prop me up like politicians and feed me lines. But yeah, I love and appreciate y'all, because you are me, I am you, we're all one. We're one with the universe, and the universe is us, like we are it, and yeah, we're all water. But yeah, if you did like this, give the video a like. You could even subscribe, because there should be more coming. And yeah, who knows what the future holds. Just relinquish expectations and just be open to possibilities of anything happening. And then, what is it? Yeah, plan for the worst. Yeah, sorry, I had to think of what it was. Plan for the worst, but hope for the best. And that's all you can do. It's if you think, yeah, no, I don't even. Maybe I'll just cut the end of this off. Who knows? But again, I love and appreciate y'all. There should be more to come. We'll see what happens. Stay safe. Good luck. Ease.